I would like to talk about the actual situation in Nagorno-Karabakh, the mountain Karabakh. When the actual borders between Azerbaijan and Armenia were made in Stalin's time. Stalin came from Georgia, don't forget that. And he knows the state in a way, it's part of his territory, in a way of speaking. And any conflict, any problem, you have to refer to Moscow. And yesterday, there was a meeting in Moscow between the foreign ministers of Azerbaijan and Armenia. So, the geostrategical decisions of Stalin, in this case, it's kind of imperialist decisions, are valid up to today. People fight, they kill each other, and they destroy things. And in the case of Nagorno-Karabakh against international law, because Nagorno-Karabakh is part of Azerbaijan, though the population is the majority of Armenian origin, so you have a mess going on. And where did you go to try to settle down the questions? To Moscow, with foreign minister of Russia, which is a very intelligent man, very able man, one of the best foreign ministers in the world. So that does not prevent this fighting going on and operation attacks. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. President of Turkey, from the Erdogan, is supporting the Azeris. It's normal, you know. It's the cousins of the Turks. And so Turkey and Russia are not enemies. In a certain manner, they are friends, but there are certain conflicts. And at the end, the Russians are not the losers in this question because they have been chosen by history to be the decision makers, to participate decision making between Armenia and the Azeris. Don't forget that there was a Turkish Empire and the situation was different before the Russian Revolution, 1917. But it continues. President Erdogan might be able to change certain questions and go back to a time of not imperial Turkey, this is over, but a stronger Turkey as the main power in the area. And I said something, we need a power in the area, a Muslim power, and the only one is Turkey. It is like this. But I repeat that the president of Erdogan who tried to make decisions, appropriate decisions, because people should not forget that the Republic of Turkey is not only from Turks. The Turks are the last population who right to Turkey. Let's not forget this. And others already were there. I'm talking about the Christians. I'm talking about the Jews that were there before. Not there were not many Jews, but there were some, you know, in the east of the country. And what's going on? The Turkish army intervenes in Azerbaijan, helping the Azerbaijani allies, which is a normal question to do. But that does settle the situation of the historical conflict with Armenia. The Armenians were very close to the Turkish Empire. And at the time, there were Armenians even in the imperial palace. The responsible of the money of the Sultan was an Armenian. Until came this this Jewish sect who became a modern to survive, and they destroyed the Turkish empire. They toppled the Sultan, and they brought Kemal Atatürk to power. In fact, he was in power because he was the only man who didn't lose a battle with the French and the British in the First World War. Whatever. Turkey exists. It should settle their internal conflicts. When I talk about internal, it means conflicts in the area, in the official, internationally recognized territory of the Turkish Republic. This should be like this, and that you will have then really not the Turkish Empire, but the Turkish Republic as reference to the people to the south, the Arab peoples, the Kurds and so forth, and to the north, like the Azeris. We don't know what is going to happen, but I hope things will get better. Fighting. Why fighting between the Armenians and some of the Armenians and the Azeris? This is useless. What is the point of it? Let the people be together, live together. They lived for centuries before. And there is something else, it's international law. You cannot change borders until there is a peaceful agreement between the two states. Otherwise, you cannot change borders. It's like this. I don't mean by this that the people from Nagorno-Karabakh, from the mountain Karabakh, having got some historical rights as well. But this is not the way to settle matters. These reactionary people who control Armenians, who control Nagorno-Karabakh population, they are victims as well. And who took power in Armenia are only creating problems. And thanks to Comrade Erdogan, they will never be successful. They have lost in advance, and they should know this. They should know this. If they don't know it, they are stupid. Because Turkey is not only a republic led by true Muslims, but is a member of NATO. The second military force in NATO in number of people, of fighters, is Turkey. People forget this. Whatever. We don't know what will happen. But I hope things will not get worse and that Turkey will not involve directly, openly in this quarrel between the population in that area of Nagorno-Karabakh. And I think we should take the example of the Russians. The Russians have an imperial tradition. And the president of Russia are proven to be very, very clever. He continues. He's a Christian, so the Armenians are Christians of a different church. By the way, people forget this. The first church in history was the Armenian church. They are the oldest Christian church in the world. We should not forget this. I don't give a damn about this church, but historically this is important. For the Armenian, there's a minimum of respect. And with the actual government of Armenia, people will not be respected. It is like this. It's unfortunate, but what to do? Whatever. I am not completely pessimistic, and I am not optimistic. I think this conflict will go on, and I wonder why the people of Armenia, the Republic of Armenia, vote for this new government they have. Very strange. Anyway, I hope that things will go back to normal, and this population has been living together for centuries in peace will continue doing so. And whatever the official maps, people should continue visiting each other, working with each other, making trade with each other, and being able to cross the borders. The border between the Republic of Armenia and the Republic of Turkey, there's a conflict there, we know this. And this should stop, borders should open, and people should travel freely between between Armenia and Turkey. And people will go back to respect each other like in the Turkish imperial times. Maybe I'm just dreaming, but I don't think so. I think that questions will get better, because wars will be a war, a terrible war. And in such a war, everybody will be a loser, because people will die who should not deserve to die in a war between peoples who should love each other, by a conflict that should never be settled by military power. We don't know what will happen. I hope things will be settled, arranged in a peaceful manner. But with these extremist, anti-Muslim people who took Nagorno-Karabakh and manipulated people, the Armenians from that area, the native Armenians, and who also in Yerevan have managed to take power, things don't look so promising. Who knows? We will see. But I hope that things will get better and not worse, because war will mean war. By the way, there is a kind of war started against Venezuela by the U.S. imperialists. I talk about this all the time, but I would like to remember, to remind people of the situation. There is not enough. I talked to my family yesterday. There is not enough petrol. Difficult to find petrol, gasoline for the cars. In such a country, the richest country in petrol in the world, petrol reserves. It's a complete mess. The Americans have been successful in creating havoc. And for sure, some people infiltrating the government have managed to corruption, to steal, and to make problems. And the boycott of the United States, which is the origin of the lack of oil production, because all the oil industry is based upon machinery coming from the United States, and they don't have the spare parts that they change, so things are blocked. And okay, you could change all the machinery. It will cost thousands of millions of dollars, and it will take years to change this. It's not so easy. Whatever, I think the Venezuelan government has made mistakes. You see, this is the problem. When you are rich, and I mean Venezuela as a country, and government getting large amounts of money which is working just because of oil, this leads not to pay attention to the small details, which are the most important. Because when things go wrong, everything else goes wrong. Especially in a country like Venezuela, oil, the oil production, the oil industry is at the root of our economy, at the root of our social life. We don't know what is going to happen, but things could get worse, especially in the last weeks of the government of President Trump. I hope he will lose the elections in November, and he might try to do something. Who knows? Whatever. Let's hope the people of Venezuela are prepared to resist to a United States terrorist attack. Allahu Akbar.